I think it's pretty safe to say that by far the biggest highlight of the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer was of course what fans heard at the very end of the footage, which was of course the laughter of Emperor Palpatine, portrayed by Ian Mcdiarmid. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really trying to figure out is of course exactly why did J.J. Abrams tease pretty much Emperor Palpatine's laughter at the very end of the teaser. What's really going on here? Is he coming back to life? Is he coming back in the form of a hologram / force visions and or dream sequences like all the different leaks that we have been going over these past 6 months, give or take? Or is it something else entirely different? Now, all thanks to Ian himself, he actually took the time in an interview today with the Star Wars show over at Star Wars Celebration during the last day, which was, by the way, the Phantom Menace, the 20th anniversary. Big day today, and of course, Star Wars Celebration has officially come to an end. So this is what Ian Mcdiarmid had to say about Emperor Palpatine's return in Star Wars Episode 9 and what he had to actually tease about the character being placed in Episode 9. So he casually says this. So what I liked about it though, and he's referring to Palpatine's laugh, that's why I think it's a real tease. I mean, the new title, Rise of the Skywalkers, it's wonderful, and then from the past, maybe from hell, a laughter comes, which sort of implies, yeah, right. So in other words, Skywalker's rising? I don't think so. So that's what he had to say over at Star Wars Celebration. Just take note that I think he had a little misquote here, where he says the title is, of course, Rise of the Skywalkers. I think he meant to say The Rise of Skywalker, unless he slipped something, for all we know. I don't know. But what's really interesting about this quote is how he casually teases something to do with Emperor Palpatine's involvement in Star Wars Episode 9. Like I say when he says, I mean, the new title, Rise of the Skywalkers, is wonderful, and then from the past, maybe from hell, a laughter comes, which sort of implies, yeah, right. So in other words, Skywalker's rising? I don't think so. So that's what Ian had to say over at Star Wars Celebration during the last day. And I want to talk a little bit more about Emperor Palpatine because it truly is the highlight of this teaser trailer without a doubt. And I really think that the fact that Palpatine is going to be a part of this story in a significant way in whatever way, shape, or form, it's going to be used in, of course, the actual plot device that evolves in the movie that's going to move the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren forward throughout the story. So Ian Mcdiarmid coming back into Episode 9 is not only a great way to tie all 9 movies together into one big movie, but it's also the perfect character to do things with this, right? We have Palpatine in the prequels, the originals, and now in the sequel trilogy era, which I think is just perfect and makes Palpatine the ultimate villain in the Star Wars universe. Now, what's really great about this is that J.J. Abrams has a lot more tricks up his sleeve of exactly what he's going to do in order to tie all 9 movies together into one big movie. And a lot of people that have issues with The Last Jedi, like myself, would argue that Episode 9 may or may not be able to recover, all the problems that The Last Jedi went through. And by the way, guys, if you are a fan of The Last Jedi, that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their opinion. But in my point of view, I had a lot of issues with the movie and the direction of the film by Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy and what they plan to do with the Star Wars universe, especially with the character of Luke. So now going into Episode 9 and seeing the nostalgia that J.J. Abrams is driving in here, I think it's perfect, I think it's wonderful, I think it's fascinating. But also the fact that J.J. Abrams is using this movie as a way to really kind of change our perception on the past movies and kind of just give us a different sense of the Skywalker saga and the meaning of the Force and the meaning of the actual galaxy and everything that's going on in the universe. It really does sound like that there is something happening in this movie that may or may not have something to do with the worlds between worlds. Now, like I have said many times, do I think he's really coming back to life? It's possible. But so far, through all the different leaks that we have been going over, nothing really indicates that. It indicates holograms, dream sequences, force visions, Palpatine actually appearing in a different realm or something around those lines. But it's still very possible that he will, in fact, come back to life. So, with that being said, Episode 9 really does have a lot going for it. We do know that this movie is going to have a big revelation at the very end of the film that's going to change the entire Skywalker saga and how we view all 9 movies. And I think that it's a big risk by Disney and Lucasfilm. It's all a matter of how it's written and exactly how it's done, right? And how it's executed on the big screen. And I think that this is the greatest way to make a Star Wars movie as of right now, coming out of The Last Jedi, having the backdrop be a lot of, nostalgia, while also focusing on the 3 main characters. Of course, you got Rey, Poe, and Finn, the 3 main heroes going on their adventure, with the nostalgia being used as a backdrop. Take note of the Death Star in the distance in the trailer. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.